We're in need for a great debate about the future. What's up, everyone? It's America Plus. I'm your host, Cole McCormick. It's another week, another episode. What's going on, folks? It's America Plus. It's another week of America Plus. I'm back. We're here. It's happening. Hello. It's a beautiful Sunday, September 29th, 8:31 in the p.m., folks. Welcome to another episode. I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy I'm recording. I've had a good couple weeks at work. It's been a good couple weeks just in my own mind and heart. It's been pleasant, and I'm happy to be back bringing the heat on America Plus, guys. I'm happy to be here. Are you happy to be here? Are you happy to be here? I'm so freaking hyped. We're talking about important things today. We're talking about things that are bringing forward a more beautiful world, okay? That's the thesis. This week was an important week because something that I have been discussing on this podcast for years, or almost a year, has finally come to fruition. This past weekend, I was able to see a film that I didn't know when I would be able to see it, but I saw it, and it has come in this wild moment in my life and Earth's life, and I feel blessed that I got to see it. I got to see Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. Dude, it was crazy.
Megalopolis was nuts.
Dude, it was crazy. I can't believe I saw Megalopolis. It's this. Okay, so does anyone remember what I talked about? Let me just refresh your memory on what this is supposed to be about, okay? So, Francis Ford Coppola, he's had this idea for a film since the 1970s. He's a big history buff. He likes Rome. He thinks about the Roman Empire from time to time, like most of us. And he sees similarities with the beautiful, the great America. And it's this fable. It's this, like, weird, reality-bending, genre-bending experience. He calls it a Roman epic about modern America. And it's just crazy, okay? And a while ago, I played some clips of like some actors that are a part of it. So this is star-studded, y'all. Star-freaking-studded. And just right off the bat, let me just tell you, I like the film, and I'm pretty close to loving it, okay? It's complicated. It's challenging. This is a film like none other. I promise you, I literally, from the deepest part of my heart, you have never, ever seen a movie like Megalopolis. It is absurd. It's funny. It's serious. It's poetic. It's historical. It's generational. It's heavy on dialogue. There's 3 Marcus Aurelius quotes in the movie. There's so much happening. And you have to see it twice. You have to see it multiple times. I'm planning on seeing it a third time, a fourth time, maybe even a fifth time. I have to absorb all of it because I've only taken in like 20% of it, dude. But at this point, I'm just hyped to talk about it, and I'm so happy it exists. So the actors in it, star-studded. Laurence Fishburne, he was in Apocalypse Now. He's in The Matrix. We got Aubrey Plaza. She's in Parks and Rec. She's hilarious. We got Shia LaBeouf, dude. Shia LaBeouf is in this movie, dog. We got Jon Voight, dude. Jon Voight, Angelina Jolie's dad, is in this movie. We got Dustin Hoffman. He's in a few scenes. We got Adam Driver, the driving force of the modern culture. Adam Driver, dude. He's the main character. He's amazing. Who else is in this? Giancarlo Esposito. Gus from Breaking Bad is in this film, and he gives a very strong performance. He's one of the main characters. And this movie, okay, so this movie is like everything you love about Coppola, everything you love about Godfather, mixed with Roman history, okay? So imagine like family feuding along with one section of the family feuding with a totally different family, and that other family is in charge of a city, okay? So let me just try to unravel this, dude. And there's spoilers. This movie requires spoilers. There's no way I can get through this and not try to spoil it, because you'll understand as I move through the spoiling. I don't think you'll even understand it, because I'm still absorbing it. There's so much to unpack here. This is a film that is so dense, so little of the audience was ready for it, and including me, but I feel like I'm in some position to speak about it. So just to refresh your hearts and minds, what was the vibe going into it? What was going on with the actors? What was the actors' mindset going into this new film directed by this cinematic master? This is about this is Jon Voight. Here's a clip of Jon Voight talking about the actors.
Is there anything you can tell us about this movie?
Well, it's a work of the imagination that's quite stunning, I think, and we'll see how the story works itself out. But I'm working with great actors: Adam Driver, Shia LaBeouf, and Aubrey Plaza. These are three enormous talents from this generation, and that was a pleasure to work with them. So we'll see what happens. It's a very almost brave attempt at something that comes from the mind of this great Francis Ford Coppola, and I hope that we'll achieve what the vision he set out.
The vision he set out. Did they accomplish the vision that he set out? What was the vision? Okay. So, like I said, Coppola considers this a Roman epic. Okay. There's heavy themes. Like, the entire movie is painted with Rome. The movie opens up in this fictional version of New York called New Rome. And that's like the allegory, right? Rome fell. America seems to be falling. What does that mean? What does that look like? And what kinds of questions and thoughts come up about the future of society? How do we move forward? Okay, about the future of society. Let me turn my freaking computer on Do Not Disturb, please. This is insane. New Rome is sort of crumbling. And Giancarlo, I'll just say Gus from Breaking Bad. He plays the mayor, right? He plays the old guard. And Adam Driver, he's like this architect. He's this artist. And he's a part of this group called the Design Authority. And the Design Authority, they have jurisdiction to destroy old buildings and to rebuild them in a new way. They have authority over this thing. The specifics are not that important because so many characters and scenes are metaphors and allegories for other truths. And so pretty much what you need to know is Adam Driver is an artist, and he has a power to freeze time. And what was going on here is Coppola was trying to talk about how artists have this ability, whether it's a painting, a sculpture, a movie. The artist freezes time within their work. And with this, the artist in this story he freezes time so that he can think, so that he can like try to create more things, so that he can look at it longer. And he has this vision for a more beautiful world. And he has this material. He invented this type of indestructible material called megalodon. And it's this like, they don't really go too much into it, but it's just this new material that's around, and it's controversial and it's weird, it's crazy. People don't want to use it, but there's a potential to build a brighter society with this material. And the movie opens up with Gus from Breaking Bad and Adam Driver. They're at this sort of news convention. They're at this gathering of an update to the city. And Gus, he has this whole unveiling of, ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new casino. It's going to bring jobs. It's going to be good for the community, and you're going to have fun. The casino, baby. And like people are like, boo, whatever. And we got the old guard pitching like the unions. They're pitching the work. They're pitching the entertainment. And Adam Driver comes in and he has these speeches and monologues about his first lines are, to be or not to be. That is the question of this society. And there's a lot of Shakespeare references. There's a lot of Roman references. There's so many references. The movie is so heavy on the dialogue and the quotes from things like, if you are inclined to read about history, you would have read these quotes. And the movie is this big swirling, it just swirls of all these characters doing what they want to do and living how they want to live. And they're sort of clashing throughout time. Adam Driver, his wife is dead. He's fucking this newscaster, Aubrey Plaza, whose name is Wow Platinum. Her name is Wow Platinum. And she's this like gold digger bitch, dude. Like she's hot. They make her sexy in the movie. And she's like just hungry for money and power. She wants to be the other half of a power couple. And she's like nefarious, and she's dating and fucking Adam Driver because his uncle is the richest man in the world. His uncle, Jon Voight, is in charge of the banks. He's in charge of the money. And so she's trying to climb that ladder. And, that relationship is, it's a very surface level relationship. And so that sort of crumbles in the beginning. And no one knows Adam Driver can stop time. Whenever he freezes time, the clouds, the birds, and the people, and whatever's happening in front of him, the entire world stops. And it's like a secret. And there's this woman, the daughter of Gus, the daughter of the mayor. She's just like this like socialite. She's partying, she's with her friends. She doesn't really have any real opinions. We see her just doing drugs and kissing her friends and just like having a good time at night. And she sees Adam Driver freeze time. For some reason, she is not frozen. She's able to see what Adam Driver does. And she's mesmerized by it. And then she gets curious. And after she gets curious, she wants to go to Adam Driver, but this is controversial because her father is in conflict with Adam Driver. Adam Driver is just like megalomaniac. Like that's how he's described by Gus. Like he's this crazy artist who's going to destroy society with his art, with his buildings, with his designs. But she is so curious and she is so in awe of what she just saw. And what I want to do now, I want to play a clip of these two characters meeting just to give you a little taste of what the dialogue is like and what the vibes are like. You got a little noir jazz music in this clip, and you got some just get ready, dude.
You want to help me?
Yeah, and well, I want to learn.
And you think 1 year of medical school entitles you to plow through the riches of my Emersonian mind?
Entitles me?
Yes.
Entitles me?
Yes.
Entitles me?
Yes.
You have no idea about me. You think I am nothing? Just a socialite?
No, not nothing, but I reserve my time for people who can think about science and literature and architecture and art. You find me cruel, selfish and unfeeling? I am. I work without caring what happens to either of us. So go back to the club, bear it all, and stock the kind of people that you enjoy.
Fine. I will.
Come back when you have more time.
Yes. I saw you change the laws of physics. Could it be the great Caesar Catalina doesn't obey anything, not even T-symmetry?
What did you see?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I just need to play the end part again, dude.
Great Caesar Catalina doesn't obey anything, not even T-symmetry.
Not even T-symmetry? Like, I fucking love this movie, dude. This movie's insane. And then you hear this jazz just comes in.
What did you see?
What did you see?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I was hoping you'd tell me. It's like this like sexy noir, like we're on the edge of society, like you can see what I do? What do you mean? What do you mean you can see me? And it's just like I just vibed with it. And now here's the hard thing. Here's the difficult thing. My first viewing of this film, it was in a movie theater. It was like super late at night. It was like 11:30 at night. And my theater was like ragging on the movie. My theater was laughing within mockery of the film. So that clip I just saw, like, they got a lot of laughs. But within like a, what the fuck is happening right now? What? And it was a Thursday night. I'm sure some people were drunk. It was super late. But my first viewing was like, the people around me were negative. And I was like stunned as well. Like, I didn't know what I was watching. Like, what is this? T-symmetry? T-symmetry? I don't know what this is. I don't know physics. And, but I wasn't mocking it. I didn't have the instinct to mock it, but the people around me, it seemed like they were. And that's sort of been like the vibe online too. People have been memeing on it. Now, long story short, Megalopolis, it cost $120 million to make. Coppola sold his ownership of his wine company so that he could make this film, which is badass. Like, I don't care how much money it makes. If you have the balls to sell your ownership of your company to make a movie, I will support you. I will see it multiple times for that reason. So that has to be commended. You have to respect the balls, the gall, the sheer effort to just make a movie with that. Like, that's incredible. And so maybe I'm a little biased with that, and I wish people were more sympathetic to that. Like, maybe we could just like not mock the movie and just like try to figure out what he's really talking about here. And that's what we're doing at America Plus, of course. But people online are memeing on it, and people are really laughing at when Adam Driver goes, "Go back to the club, go back to the club." But like that's just a moment where he's mocking this girl. You know, he doesn't really know this girl at all, so he's just mocking her. So it's like an entertaining moment. But people were like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, they couldn't believe it. Like, literally everyone who's seen this movie. Now, this movie made $4 million over the weekend. I don't know how long it's going to be in theaters, but I encourage you to go see it. Support Coppola. Support this human being. It's funny, because it's made so little money and because it's Coppola, it's clear that the people who are seeing it are film buffs, and they are like of the world. Like, they know the name, they've seen these other movies, and they have opinions on movies. And within the film culture, there's so much talk about like how shitty Marvel movies are, or how people just want original stuff. There's not original movies anymore. What happened to the Jerry Maguires? What happened to the random one-offs? What happened with moving? And then Megalopolis comes out, and these same fucking people are memeing on it. These same people are like they're complaining about AI, and they're making fun of Coppola. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's what I see in front of me. I see people bashing AI and making fun of Coppola. Like, you can't have it both ways. You just can't. You can't blame the computer and then not support the human. Like, that's real bullshit, dude. That's real bullshit. So I support both of those things equally. And that's my position. And I just had to work through that. I had to just allow the audience to be the audience, because, you know, you don't have control over the audience. Whenever you make any movie, even a Marvel movie, you do not have control over how the audience will react. And, you know, it's laissez-faire, hands off. You got to just go with the flow with that. You know, many other filmmakers have discussed this. Some movies are not expected to be big, and then they are big because of the audience. And some movies that are expected to be a big hit, they just fall and sink. They just don't make any money. And that's all because of the audience, the marketplace. And when I saw this movie for the first time, it's clearly something that's going to be like it's going to be a slow burn. It's going to be a simmer. People are going to think about Megalopolis. Like, they're going to stumble upon Megalopolis throughout time. And they're going to say, I never saw this. What is this movie? And in my opinion, I think it's going to be, it will catch on in time. It will be a cult classic. It will be something that, like, the real prime movie lovers are going to love. The real innovative thinkers are going to point to, like, when Coppola made Megalopolis, he showed us that we can actually do something. Like, this is one of those movies. And for me, being Cole, I feel so blessed to be living alive in this moment in time. I wrote on Twitter, after my second viewing, I said, I'm sitting on top of a mountaintop in awe of what I have seen. Like, I cannot believe that I am getting a Coppola movie at this age, like his age, like his old age. And it's about these types of themes, and he cares about America. He cares about society. He wants people to be happy. Coppola, he's the artist, like, he wants people to flourish. How many artists want people to be, like, sad? Have you ever met an artist who wants you to be sad? Like, that's the thing with art, dude. Like, it's supposed to inspire. It's supposed to make other people happy. Like, artists want to make other people happy, usually, We want to vibe. And Coppola's one of those guys. And it's just incredible to be sitting in the theater and to do my best to absorb what he was trying to convey. Now, my one criticism of the film, because of how the dialogue is, and because of the amount of quotes there are from Marcus Aurelius and references to other philosophical and historical things, the movie could have been a podcast. I'm just, like, being, like, totally real with you. The dialogue could be a podcast. But that's why I'm doing the podcast right now. So this is the official Megalopolis podcast. I don't have all the quotes with me, but I'm telling you right now, it could have been. It really could have been. But it's entertaining. It's entertaining. The film, so the images, let me talk about the images of the film. Nothing is boring. Like, when you're looking at it and when you're listening to it, nothing is boring. It's just complex. The images are beautiful and interesting, and the music is really pretty to listen to, and there's a lot of, like, Roman-sounding sounds, and there's like American-esque sounds. Like, there's, like, an organ that you would hear at, like, a baseball game, like just like there's sounds that you have heard if you grew up in America, and then there's also sounds that you've heard if you've done any, like, if you watch any other Roman stuff, It's this really interesting blend of these two cultures and concepts, because that's really what it is. Like, Coppola doesn't go too political with it, even though some politics are involved. This is not an anti-Trump movie. This is not a pro-Democrat movie. This is a pro-America / pro-human being movie. And that's all you can ask for. Like, what else are you going to ask for? That's good. That's an objectively good thing to create. Within the movie, they talk about utopia. What is a utopia? Gus, the mayor, he sees utopia as like a flimsy thing that turns into dystopia. And Coppola, in an interview, he actually had a really interesting thing to say about utopia, about this concept.
What does the film say? The film says pretty clearly that utopia is to be able to talk about it and ask any question. That is utopia. That if we would just have a conversation, all the film is saying, let's talk. Yeah. It's time to talk about the future.
Yeah.
But Don't you agree? It's time to talk about the future.
Yeah.
We should, and we have to talk in a way where you can ask any question.
We're in need of a great debate about the future.
It's incredible. About the future. That is a utopia, right? Do you agree with that? Like, does a utopia equal being able to speak about anything you want in any way you want? You know, that sounds like a utopia to me. Anytime you read about any government suppressing speech, suppressing books, burning books, arresting people for thinking differently, arresting people for Facebook comments, like, that's some real bullshit. Like, that's some real bullshit. Posting a meme in California is illegal. Illegal. It's beautiful to live in a world where you can, I personally can have these ideals, and then I can see a movie that's trying to tell a story with these ideals. It's really good. I think it's really fucking good, and I really want you to go see it. I really think you should. If you don't care about America, then you don't see it. If you don't care, if you're not interested in Roman history, don't go see it. If you don't care about society, don't go see it. But if you do, then please go see it. And if you don't have access to the movie theater, if you don't want to spend the money, it's okay. I sort of get it. I want you to go to the theater because it's a great experience. It's a really unique experience. But, you know, just watch this movie. You need to watch Megalopolis because the performances are amazing and it's fun. Like, you're supposed to have fun with this movie. Like, imagine playing and thinking about serious things at the same time. That's what Megalopolis is. It's this fantasy version of the country that we all love, discussing the most necessary things that we must discuss. It encourages you to be brave to have a conversation about these things. Do you believe, what do you think is going to move forward in society? Like, do you think we are living in the best way right now? Is there a better way to live? Is there a better way to structure society? We, the people, are in charge of that. And that begins with the individual. It begins with the individual opening up their heart and being honest with their voice, being honest with their mouth, and actually using their brains, using their sight to discern, and then to, like, speak and to act. Like this is like primal. This is some primal civilization shit. And it's awesome. It's so awesome. I don't have any other clips. I just wanted to talk about how awesome the movie was. It's not important to share clips, you know? What's important is you need to go see it, and I'm seeing it again. What else is coming to me right now? Adam Driver was good. Aubrey Plaza was awesome. Shia LaBeouf. I need to talk about Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf, so he plays this character who is like, he's like the family spoiler, you know? Like, he's just like, this like, he's like causing trouble everywhere he goes. There's rumors that he's fucking his sisters, which is like classic Coppola, like some suggested incest, which is weird. Like, why is that even around? But like, it just sort of fits in with the vibe of Rome and like society crumbling, and he's sort of a party or two, and he's just living off his dad's money, you know, like he's just one of those kids. He has this ugly hair, ugly ass mullet, ugly mullet, dude. And he's jealous of Adam Driver, and he's been feuding with Adam Driver, his cousin, since he was like 6 years old, and he thinks that he's better than Adam Driver, even though he's created nothing. Shia LaBeouf's character really believes that whatever is inside of him is better than Adam Driver, the artist who's created a new material. There's a lot of jealousy from Shia LaBeouf, and there's a lot of hatred and greed from him. Shia LaBeouf steals his father's bank. He sort of undermines Jon Voight and becomes this new CEO of the bank because Aubrey Plaza convinced him to. And then then him and Aubrey Plaza are like together for a minute. It's so wild, dude. Some people die in the movie. Jon Voight shoots Aubrey Plaza with an arrow to the chest. It's awesome. And then he shoots Shia LaBeouf with 2 arrows in the butt. And Shia LaBeouf like scurries away with these 2 arrows in his ass. Like, like it's hilarious. And Jon Voight's dressed up as Robin Hood too. It's like this like reverse Robin Hood. Instead of stealing from the rich, he's like protecting his own riches from the people stealing from him. There's like just things that like just flip them on their head, dude. There's like, I cannot describe it. I'm trying my best to. I'm at a loss for words. I need to see it a 3rd time. I need to see it a 4th time. This movie requires you to think. If you like media that makes you think, you need to see Megalopolis. It's so important. It's so important. And on the front of The More Beautiful World. So the movie goes on. Adam Driver and the mayor's daughter, they fall in love and they have a kid and, they're just in love. Adam Driver ends up getting shot in the head. Okay. He doesn't die, but he gets shot in the head by this 12-year-old. And while he's like signing this kid's autograph, he's like, "Well, Sam, it was nice to meet you." And the kid's like, "Yeah, you too." Bang! It's like, holy crap. Like that's classic Coppola. And then, what happens in the movie is, now this is where it gets weird, dude. So they have this material, this megalodon material. They use this material to heal Adam Driver. It's not clear about what this material does. Like at first it just seemed like some sort of building material, but now all of a sudden it's some biological bridge that's going to help his brain and neurons reform. And so they put this material in his face, and like half of his skull is like gone, right? Like he got shot in the face. And so, and he has this giant bandage on his head, and he's walking around with a cane and he's in pain. And he's screaming. He has these raging screaming fits. Like he's in so much pain. And Aubrey Plaza freezes his bank accounts because she's like a bitch, and she goes over to her and to his uncle so that he can get them unfrozen. And he stands up and he ends up taking off this bandage, and it's like this like glowing crystal skull eye that's like on his face. Like half of his face is like the crystal skull in Indiana Jones 4. And there's just like Egyptian music playing when he takes it off, and then his bandage is in the shape of like some like Arab hat, like it's some like Egyptian Middle Eastern hat thing. That's his bandage, but then there's like Egyptian music, so they're going with this Egyptian vibe, and there's this deeper subconscious thing that goes on with Adam Driver, that I don't know if a lot of people really saw, but there's this. So when he gets shot, that's like him going like into himself. Him getting shot is his transformation moment, which is like him coming to terms with his past and him just being honest with himself and him letting go of whatever's happened. And during these like scenes, like these flashes of images, Adam Driver, he's in his subconscious. This is my interpretation. He's in his subconscious, and there's Egyptian architecture. It looks as though there's hieroglyphs on the wall. You can't really see it, but like if you were to really look at the image, it looks as though he's in like ancient Egypt, which is interesting because the entire thing is about ancient Rome, but Egypt is so much older than Rome. And so the way I have interpreted this is Coppola was using the architecture of these societies to sort of talk about like the consciousness of the time, sort of. And when we're in Adam Driver's subconscious, the Egyptian stuff, that's like raw, you know, that's like early. That's like primitive. That's like where things sort of begin, you know, regardless of what you think about the history of society, you know, ancient Egypt is always this, like, that's where it all begun. Like, that's where the real questions are, ancient Egypt. Even though, like, isn't like Samaria older than Egypt? But like, no one knows anything about Samaria. Like, no one knows anything about that. So, but we have all these questions about, we have all these dreams about ancient Egypt. Oh, I would love to go to Egypt if I had a time machine. I want to see the pyramids. And it's in this Egyptian architecture where he comes to terms with his dead wife, and his wife speaks to him and tells him, like, to be with this new woman, like, it's okay. And I just thought that was interesting. To use a different society for the subconscious. Within another film discussing subconscious, naturally I think about Inception. You know, Christopher Nolan, within Inception, he used the beach as like the ground floor for your subconscious. But Coppola uses ancient Egypt for reasons that I'm still absorbing and trying to think about. It's extremely unique. It's extremely unique. And then his like, and then this material is almost magic. This material is almost unworldly. And there's like, and then there's Egyptian music. Like, I don't know how else to like tell you this. Like, there's just these like weird Egyptian sounds when he takes off his bandage. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? And that was another moment where people were like laughing, like, what the fuck does it? What's on his face? Like, dude, like, I'm trying to think about this, guys. Like, I'm like the kid that goes, stop making fun of him. He's nice. Like, it's just like, I feel really like, I feel a little alone in this situation. Even though Shannon liked it, Shannon did not like it, her first viewing. I think it was just because it was super late at night. But after her second viewing, she was like, oh my God, this movie was actually incredible. This movie was really good. And I was like, okay, good. Thank God. We're sort of on the same page. But so few people are on the same page with me. When I'm on Twitter, I'm scrolling through and people are, like, very few people are saying they love it. People are saying they've never seen it before. People are putting up memes about it. People are saying it's terrible. People are sort of celebrating its flop. And it's just bullshit, dude. It's so bullshit. Because if you remember when I talked about this back in March 2024, Coppola debuted this movie for all of the Hollywood executives. And a quote that came out of that screening, it was done at Universal Studios out here in Hollywood. Some of the Hollywood execs said Megalopolis is unmarketable. It was picked up by a smaller distributor, but Coppola was wanting a wide release. He was wanting a huge, like, he wanted this to be big. And Hollywood just didn't, like, give it to him, you know? They gave him a little bit, you know? One company gave him as much as they could, but the Hollywood elites just weren't into it. They said it was unmarketable, you know? And to just think about that, you know, because Hollywood is ran off of, like, superheroes and intellectual property and pre-existing things, and, you know, Megalopolis, you know, it's not pre-existing. There's nothing that pre-existed, I promise you. And so I, like, watching the movie, I can sort of understand the executive's point of view of how, you know, like, we can't market this movie. There's no way, like, there's no way we can make our money back. There's no way this will be profitable. This is, the movie is so unique. There is no target audience for it. The target audience, in my opinion, is like everyone. It's humanity. It's everyone who thinks. But unfortunately, within the system of consumption and marketing and just trying to get your butt in a seat, you know, that's not really what people are gonna grab onto, you know, and that's just the reality of where we are right now. But me being me, I chose to see it. And I'm happy I did. And I feel blessed. What an important question to ask within 2024. Is our society what it could be? Are we living in the best world that we can be living in? You know, and I've been going through so much with me personally, you know, like my dad just died and I'm grieving still and I'm having these wild spiritual experiences. Like I'm just going through a lot right now. You know, of course I'm going through like things emotionally, but like the things that I have really been dealing with since my dad's death is spiritual stuff. I've been like going deeper into spirit, into my soul. I've been having more, like in the last like 2 months, guys, I have had more spiritual experiences than I've ever had in my entire life. Just crazy things, you know, things that I don't really, like I've already shared some, but like I don't think it's necessary to share right now. Maybe I'll share it one day soon. But just like spiritual stuff, you know, things that just confirm and affirm a lot of different things that I've been thinking about. And to have this movie come about now, about the society that I'm living in, that I've been focused on, you know, I've been focused on, that's the whole reason we're at America Plus, dude. I want a more beautiful world. I want America to be good. I want America to be better. I want to live. I want to thrive here. And I'm thankful there's an artist who's willing to make something about those questions and to actually embody the philosophy. You know, if you, one quote that is spoken by the mayor's daughter, she quotes Marcus Aurelius: "Do not speak your philosophy, embody it." Marcus Aurelius. And that's really important, dude. You know, that I think that's from Meditations. I haven't read Meditations. I've listened to most of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and you know, there's great wisdom in that. There's great wisdom in that, to embody your philosophy. And how do you know what your philosophy is? You know, you have to just do it. You have to experiment. You have to go for it. You have to do what you think is right. You have to look at the world around you and observe and be objective. And ideally, you make a moral choice. The choice is yours. You know, morality is your choice. And the things that you create is your choice. And so many people are sort of stuck in just going along with what has been around, just moving along and following what has been. Are you brave enough to think about something new? You know, how many artists really innovated? You know, think about, you know, that's your own taste. Like for me, it's Michael Jackson and Kanye West and Elvis and like these like icons, you know, like they like did something with their voice. They did something with their spirit. You know, they really expressed themselves. You know, Kanye's still doing it. He's not dead yet. they didn't kill Kanye yet. But they did kill Michael Jackson. I've been seeing that conspiracy about Diddy. Diddy paid Michael Jackson's doctor to kill him. That's crazy. Okay, that's a different thing, different episode, but if you consider yourself a person who creates things and thinks about the world, I think you have an obligation to yourself to think about how it can be better and to not follow what has been. You need to take a brave step into the unknown. Something that's said in the movie is, Adam Driver says this, he says, "You only know you're free when you step into the unknown." And that's some real shit. You gotta step into the unknown. You need to explore that unknown area. You know, and like that's what Star Trek is all about, you know, like traveling to worlds unknown or something, like whatever the thing Captain Kirk says, you know, like there's like so many things within culture that points to that truth. You know, you need to take that truth into your own life, into your own heart. And I'm doing my best to do this. You know, I'm doing my best. I have ideas and dreams, and I have concepts of ideas. I have concepts of plans. And It's up to me to embody these things. It's up to me to embody this ideal and to just go for it. And, it's always a struggle. It's a constant struggle. And then, okay, let me just wrap this up. Let me wrap up Megalopolis, and then we'll get into the boostograms. I got to catch up on like a few weeks. The last month of boostograms, pretty much. The movie ends with Megalopolis, with this, that's what Adam Driver calls like this new version of the city. Megalopolis opens up, and it's this sprawling, beautiful, bright, like world. The architecture is bright and it looks like magic, and it's just stunning. There's no like details about like what it is, like it's just this example. It's supposed to be just this metaphor of like a more beautiful world. And it ends on a happy ending. It ends with Adam Driver with a newborn baby, and he shakes hands with his wife's father, and the mayor ends up accepting this new world. He ends up moving forward with the times, and everyone is happy, and everyone chooses to step into that new world, and it's their choice, because there's a lot of conflict, but the people choose to step into the new world, and that's just a big lesson. It's a big message. It's a huge lesson that is fundamental to, regardless of what religion you are, what philosophy you enjoy, the fundamental thing needs to be that the individual needs to step into a more beautiful world, into a more beautiful life, make a more loving decision for yourself and your neighbor, for yourself and your family. You need to make these choices. Something that I've been thinking about is this concept of morality being objective. And is that real? Does that exist? Is morality objective? And I'm one to think that it is. It is very easy to see when something is moral and when something is not moral. It is only within these like TV shows like Breaking Bad when we actually get to experiment with like being bad, like, oh, Walter was so justified murdering that guy. Like, no, actually, no. Objectively, you shouldn't murder. Like there's like things, like there's narratives within the world that make us think that morality is gray, or there's examples of it being okay for morality to be gray. But in reality, like objective reality, there's not. You need to make a loving choice. You need to be moral. And morality, like being moral, means to sustain life, to help life thrive, to make sure love is at the center of your being. To not be forceful with your will, to not seek harm on another person, and to not allow your emotions and greed to control you. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like, and it's greed and jealousy that forces people to be angry. It's fear also. Fear is this fundamental thing that makes people fight and go to war. And you got to ascend. You got to transcend that. And that's your personal choice. And Megalopolis is a fable of how you can do that, of how an artist can look at the world around them and freeze time and do their best to make a more beautiful world. And that's what I take away from it, man. I think it's really important. So yeah, that's Megalopolis, guys. I saw it twice, and I'll see it again. You got to go see it too. It's flippin'
awesome. Go see Megalopolis.
In theaters now.
Bada bing, bada boom, folks. I love it. Let's get into the boostergram, shall we? Okay, so I need to catch up on, since freaking August. I need to catch up on the August boostergrams. It's been 2 months since I've read boostergrams. There's not too many. Thank God, because it's a still pretty small show. So we're catching up on the Boostergram. So, okay, America Plus, value for value. America Plus is a value for value show. What is value for value? Value for value is I bring forward ideas and content, and I produce this show for you, and you're able to reciprocate the value that you're getting, whether that be through a comment, whether that be through you sharing it online, whether that be through you sending a message with a payment attached to it, which is what a Boostergram is. And by the way, you should download Fountain.
Go to value4value.info for more info, then download the Fountain.fm app. It's the best way to support the show.
Fountain.fm is my favorite podcasting app. It's a modern podcasting app. And pretty much you're able to send messages with payments attached to them with small bits of Bitcoin called Satoshis. And Fountain just had a big update where they hooked up this like new social media situation called Nostr. I'm on it. I am finally on Nostr. So find me. My name's Cole McCormick on there. And I'm trying to engage with that more. I'm trying to figure out Nostr. I don't really understand it yet, but I think it's fun. And I want to, this is it, dude. This is the America Plus community. Boostergrams, be a part of it. This first Boostergram comes in from at the Mere Mortals podcast. He sends in 5,492 Satoshis. That's Kyron Down from Australia. And that's my favorite Boostergram number, 5492. That's the number of my Star Wars book, of my Star Wars archive book. I have this giant book of behind the scenes of the Star Wars prequels, and I have number 5,492 out of 10,000 copies. So that's that number. Thank you, Kyron, for sending in that number. That's a great number. And Kyron is commenting on my episode where I tell the story of the death of my father. It's pretty intense. It's number 134. Go check it out if you want to cry with me. Kyron says, "Wow, what an adventure. I really didn't recognize our similarities until you lay it out like that, Cole." His mom died this year as well, so me and Kyron were able to connect with that. When I hung out with him, he says, "Your father's passing reminded me of special moments I had with my mom. Thank you for that. So happy that we got to meet and honored to have been a part of your experience over the last month. Like you, I'm being positive and looking forward to the next chapter of our lives. Love you, brother." I love you, Kyron.
Boosting is loving.
You are incredible. You're a strong man. And, dude, you're going to get a bombshell of a girl. I'm telling you right now. He's looking for a girlfriend, folks. We got to pray for Kyron. Pray for Kyron. This next one comes in from at Frillis. Frillis sends in a whopping 7,777 sats. Dude, that's a striper boost. What up, Frillis? Thank you for that, Frillis. He's commenting on this on my dead dad's post. He says, "Praying for you and your family, Cole. I can't imagine how hard a loss like this is to navigate. For dads, it sounds like you were gifted with one of the best. Please take all the time you need to start creating more episodes. But thankful to have you back. God bless and stay free." Yes, sir.
Boost.
Stay free.
And now, as the French say, it is time for le boost.
Stay free, dude. Stay free, Frillis. Power to the people. These next two, the last ones, come from our friend at Saints and Sats. What up, Saint and Sats? He sends in two of them. Both of these are 500 Satoshis. Thank you so much, dude. The first one says, okay, so this is from my most recent episode where I talked about, I had this spooky experience where I was meditating and these words came to me in the middle of meditation. And it was it was as if I was receiving words. It was as if words were being put in my head. And some of these words were, once you slow down, you will find answers. And Satan Sass is commenting on that. He says, once you slow down, you will find answers. Wow, that's a powerful message. I needed to be reminded of that too. Hell yeah, dude. And then the next one from Satan Sats, he says, I've heard priests say that encountering the spirits of loved ones after their recent deaths is a very common occurrence. They say it was common all through history and even continues today, but people don't really talk about it anymore. I know people personally who I totally trust who describe encounters, but I have not sensed it myself. So yeah, you're just having a normal human experience as far as I know. So thank you, dude.
It's basically, you put Bitcoin with anything, and all of a sudden, that is more efficient.
Let's do, what's this one? I like this one.
And now,
I need more of these.
as the French say, it is time for le boost.
I need more sounds. I got to get more ISOs. I'm trying to, so while I'm sort of in this like slow down and revamping phase of America Plus. I'm like trying to figure out how to approach the content, how to approach the discussion. I don't want it to be as wide ranging. I'm not trying to do random shit, you know. I'm happy that I got to talk about this film because it's sort of it's American culture, it's American art, and so I think I'm leaning more into that. And while I am taking this time, I'm just been experiencing so many different spiritual stuff that it's hard to put into words. But I really appreciate your words, Saint and Sats, because it's a surreal experience and it's an intense experience. And to say that it's like a normal human experience, like, okay, like if this is normal, then this is nuts. Humanness is crazy, but it's also really cool. Really fun. It's like, I feel like I'm on like the edge. I'm on like I don't know how to describe it. If you're watching the video, I'm doing this weird motion. I'm in this, I feel like I'm on the edge of something, man. Like I'm on the threshold of something right now. I feel the same way as I did in January 2020. The way that my emotions and body is right now is how I felt January 2020. I was super like positive, me, la 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 la. Ooh, Cold McCormick 2020. We're gonna be awesome. We're gonna win. It's the COVID lockdown. You're not going anywhere. I felt as if I was on the threshold of a new thing in January 2020. And then all of a sudden, something unexpected just like fucking hit me in the face. And that's sort of what happened this time, but in a different way. You know, I got hit in the face. I got hit in the fucking balls, dude. Like, I got hit, dude. And this is big. This is like life-changing shit. I'm living a different fucking life right now. And I'm going through a lot of emotions. And I want this podcast to continue to be a representation of myself, along with being this like this arrow. Like I feel like I have this responsibility to sort of like to like make this arrow for thoughts, for the world, for something, dude. Like I want to point to this. I won't shut the fuck up about it. The more beautiful world. Like we're moving towards it, dude. I don't know how else to describe it. There's like spiritual examples and then there's like cinematic examples. Like there's all these examples around me. And maybe it's just like recency bias or like I'm just like whatever that word is. Like as soon as I start thinking about it, then I start seeing it. You know, is that fake? I don't think so. I think it's reality. And I see us moving towards this new thing and it's right in front of us and it's a choice. We have the choice to engage with this more beautiful thing. And America Plus is that. I want it to be that. And so we're experimenting. We're doing it. And we're thriving. We're thriving with it. So that's value for value, folks. Thank you so much for all those people who send in boostograms. That's the America Plus community. That's what you can be a part of. Don't be afraid to download fountain.fm. Download fountain.fm right now. Send in a boostogram. Set up your wallet. Get some Bitcoin in there. And be a part of this new system, dude. Value for value is legit, okay?